Okay, you know what? It's finally time to make Reimer the starter. Campbell. Huh? You mean Campbell. What'd I say? You said Reimer. Sorry, I meant Campbell. Unless... Let's go! Why not? The Toronto Maple Leafs! I guess my brand is a yell and scream... I don't script these. Are the Leafs alright? So what you get is from the heart. Welcome to LFR. Victory, puppies, buddy. High five at the bench. That's right. And Jack, we trust. I missed you. Where have you been? It's been like over a week. Leafs win 2-0 over the Calgary Flames. I'm finally ready to say it. Make Jack Campbell the starter. Although at the moment, for the Leafs, it appears like the decision has been made for them. So let's talk about it. And as long as the goalie debate is the hottest topic in Leafland right now, we can't ignore this. This is Lance Hornby tweeting about Sheldon Keefe. Keefe praises Campbell, but says Anderson might not be available later in the week, even if there was a decision to be made. Coach says he's still dealing with effects of that lower body issue. So there's a few options here. In the last game, Freddie could have aggravated an already pre-existing injury. But with Jack Campbell out of the lineup and an injury too serious to even back up Freddie, their options were have a less than 100% Freddie starting, or have Michael Hutchinson starting. And I'm not talking one game, this one game against Calgary. I'm talking like for the foreseeable future. Hutchinson, unfortunately, I mean, it was only one game, but he sort of made his bet against Ottawa. And Freddie, while he was struggling and while he wasn't doing well, they're like, good enough? And had Jack Campbell not returned from injury, I think it still would have been Freddie. And you might be saying to yourself, well, he wasn't good enough. Well, okay, maybe the wrong way of looking at it. He wasn't good enough, but he was the best available option. Joseph Woll has barely played any professional hockey in his life. They're still developing him. They want to get him some games with the Marlies. Vehvilainen, if I'm not mistaken, is still in the whole quarantine process. Even if the Leafs wanted to snipe a depth goalie off of waivers or something, they're doing so well that their spot in the picking line is terrible. That, and even if they could, I don't know if they can afford it right now. So I guess what I'm saying is this. Frederik Andersen has not been good enough for a while now, but he was the best available option, and you know what? Despite his struggles, we should praise the job he did. All we can ask of a person is that they try their best, and as far as I could tell, Freddie was trying his best with what he had, which is probably a damaged body. Here's hoping that Campbell, Hutchinson, and maybe down the line Vehvilainen stay healthy so that Freddie can maybe be out of the lineup for as long as it takes, really. A few weeks, a month, I don't know. Because we've been talking so much about a move at the deadline and this and that, and Elliot Friedman last night on headlines is like, well, there's quarantine. With this lineup and with Jack Campbell and Freddie Andersen at full health, they have a chance to win anything. Get Freddie healthy, keep Jack healthy, and see what you can do. Now, that was my little pregame speech, then the game happened. So, it's hockey night in Canada, second half of a back-to-back. The Leafs are starting Jack Campbell. I'm like, all right, that's gonna be a topic. Flames put in Dave Riddick, and I'm like, fiddle-dee-dee! Like, Flames fans don't understand. As a Leafs fan, I would rather play Jacob Markstrom than Dave Riddick. This is as good an outcome as a Leaf fan could hope for playing Dave Riddick. They won the game, and he's still only allowed 2 goals. He always brings his A-game against this team. It's so annoying. Oh, and I haven't even talked about this. Just casually waiting for the game to start, and the Leafs tweet this. The Leafs tweeted out this lineup right here, and I was surprised to say the least. Wayne Simmons starting with Matthews and Marner. That's not that shocking. Okay. Galchenyuk, Tavares, Nylander, that's the same as last game. Thornton, Kerfoot, Spezza? Mikheyev, Engvall, Hyman? Listen, I don't have any theories about this lineup blending. I just want to know if the Leafs locker room has a dartboard and can I look at it real quick. But here's why you don't freak out about those things. Fourth liner Pierre Engvall played 12 minutes 41 seconds. Ilya Mikheyev 12:43. Wayne Simmons on the top line, right smack dab in between them, 12:42. Fourth liner Zach Hyman, 19 minutes on the button. Basically what I'm saying is save your freaking out for during the game. And now we start with third liner Jason Spezza, letting the Leafs do something they haven't done a ton of lately, play with the lead! There's less than 2 minutes to go in the first period. The Leafs have held Calgary to just 4 shots, their second consecutive game against Calgary, where they really shut them down in the first period. The Spezza, Kerfoot, Thornton line, essentially 3 centers, doing a good job against the Flames, not allowing allowing them to exit the zone. Spezza throws it on, Riddick gets it with his blocker, and then the puck deflects off of more posts that I knew existed! Oh, so it's gonna be a game like this, is it? Riddick again! Well, not so fast. Off the very next faceoff, the Flames get it, they try to exit the zone, Jake Muzzin stops them in their tracks. After the turnover, Muzzin gets it to Spezza, and he's got some time and space. Not exactly the best angle in the world, but if you're Dave Riddick, you're probably not thinking he's gonna shoot this. He's got 2 defenders on him, it's a tough angle, I got the net cut off, he's gonna give it to Thornton and they're gonna try to go around. But if you look closely, Jason Spezza goes, actually, that's plenty of net to shoot at. Jason Spezza snipe! Stop calling it vintage, it's right now! And the Leafs have a 1-0 lead. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, and since there were only 2 goals in this game and we spent a decent chunk of last game just picking Freddie apart, let's look at this one. First, I don't think there's anything wrong with praising an amazing effort. Jason Spezza with the snipe, he put the puck exactly where he wanted it, and where he wanted it to go is not at all where Dave Riddick thought it was going. Riddick's got the net cut off, but there's still that little box between the head and shoulder, and a sniper can find it, as we've seen in recent games. He does this slight movement to cut it off a little bit more, but that opens up the far side of the net. Spezza off the bar and in. If Riddick comes out and cuts off the angle a bit more, does he have a better chance of stopping it? Maybe. Instead, just a snipe from Spezza. You know, I've been worried about getting Spezza more ice time, playing him higher in the lineup. I think I'm worried about him being third line center. Third line wing, though? I'm sorry, this guy still got it. He went from 15 goals and 50 points in 68 games with the Stars to 8 goals apiece in each of the next 2 seasons, 26 and 27 points respectively. And people are like, okay, he's washed. Evidently, Babcock thought that too. He's not even a regular in the lineup to start last season, but he had 25 points in 58 games and 9 goals, which was more than his last 2 seasons in Dallas. Now, in just 31 games, he's already got 7 goals and 18 points. I don't know what the roof is anymore, but as a Leaf, Jason Spezza seems closer to the 50-point guy than the 26-point guy. Over the course of 82 games, anyway. Vintage? Only if you consider 2017 vintage. This guy has never really been bad. You know, I remember a time, I had a buddy years ago who's like, I buy a Leaf jersey every year. Who do I want this year? And I looked at the roster and I earnestly said, Jonas Gustafsson? It was a bleak time. Now, you can't go wrong. People are tweeting me, they're getting Spezza jerseys. You get whoever you want. You get Hyman, you get Simmons, Thornton for fun. Grow the beard to match. I don't care. This is such an easy team to cheer for. And the Leafs head to intermission, up 1-0. Second period, a bit of a similar looking play, but going the other way. The Leafs can't exit their own zone. They turn it over to Calgary, and they get a scoring chance. Mangiapane shoots, stopped by Campbell, and the rebound deflects off of Zach Bogosian's skate and wide. Thank goodness, because Milan Lucic was right there. And I want to point these saves out, because yes, there was some luck involved. The rebound goes off of Bogosian and wide. Thank goodness. But this is what we're talking about with the whole make a save thing. That's a rude way of putting it, for sure. But if that Mangiapane shot goes in, think of what the conversation is then. Oh, the Leafs with a turnover, another defensive zone turnover, and it ends up in the net. Shame on the Leafs, they suck at defense. Dude, how many games go by league-wide where nobody makes a mistake or gives up a scoring chance? For goalies, that's explicitly the gig. There's a reason that when they stop the puck, it's called a save. And not too long after, another one. The Leafs on the power play this time, that's good. Nylander tries to pass to Matthews and gives it away to Mangiapane. That's bad. Mangiapane to Giordano. That's a lot of Italian right there. Passes it cross slot to Derek Ryan. Poked by the blocker of Jack Campbell. And even after that, the Leafs cough it up and finds his way back to Giordano. He puts it on. I think there might be a deflection in front. The puck still isn't in the net. But why not? The Leafs made a mistake. It's true. They did. But they got a save. More than one, actually. Now, granted, you can't push your luck with these things. You can't be giving up 50 scoring chances a game. But even a team playing well is going to make a mistake, and they're going to need a save. And over the next few minutes leading to the halfway mark of the game, the Flames were getting saves from the post. Matthews on the power play. Muzzin from the point. No! That ping can either be the most satisfying or deflating sound in the world. Flames to the power play. Leafs on the penalty kill. They find a way to turn it over. Zach Hyman and Mitch Marner on a 2-on-1. Zach Hyman stopped by Dave Riddick despite the mistake by the Flames. A save, you might call it. Actually, it was several. Zach Hyman was a dog on a bone. And before the second was done, the good boy would get his treat. Under 4 minutes to go, Alex Galchenyuk in the defensive zone passes it to a streaking John Tavares. Hyman receives it at the blue line. He's got those happy feet and he's flying in wide. Morgan Riley coming in with him, but Rasmus Anderson actually doing the legwork. He takes out Riley, his own teammate Juuso Välimäki, and himself. Look at this mess. It's like Wii bowling. But Hyman continues with the wide wraparound, snipes. I think it was far side again on Dave Riddick, and he just, you know, why bother? Let's continue to go backwards. Let's keep going. Let's just say hi to all my friends. How you doing, Wayne? Zachary on the attackery, and it's 2-0 Leafs. And the low five at the bench with Wayne Simmons. I mean, that's him, right? In a nutshell. Mikheyev left hanging, Enval left hanging, and they're like, I'm not even offended. I get it. Wayne Simmons and Zach Hyman high-fiving is just adrenaline wearing a couple helmets. How am I supposed to go to bed after watching that? Just pace around the house for 4 hours. Finally go to bed, but I'm just scrolling TikTok. My wife comes down the stairs at 4 in the morning like, what are you doing? Making pasta. It's got cheese. Like I said, extremely likable team. I'm quite hyped. Lost in the fray, Alex Galchenyuk picking up the secondary assist on this one for his first point as a Leaf. Now, because the Freddie thing was so all-consuming last game, I don't think I even mentioned Galchenyuk's name. I certainly didn't talk about how he played in the last video. People were very quick to point out he was dashed to very quickly in the first game. I mean, I didn't really think that was his fault, to be honest. He took a penalty in this game, which I think is worse. But generally speaking, the effort's there and the tenacity is there. The creativity is there. This could work. I want to see how this works. They got him used to the systems in the minors with the Marlies. They call him up. He plays a couple games, gets 4 days off. He'll practice a little bit more. We'll see how he goes down the stretch. Certainly not perfect, but I can definitely see it working. And now we go to the third period. All the Leafs have to do is defend a lead. Can you do that, please? And right at the beginning of the period, Michael Backlund comes in, takes a shot, and whoa, almost fools Jack Campbell, but he gets a blocker on it. And the reason it almost fooled him, and this was a problem that has plagued Freddie Anderson for the past few games, a deflection off of one of his own players. This time it was TJ Brody. And he lost it, but he found it and stopped it. And then for the rest of the way, if I'm completely honest, Matthews misses an open net again. Marner gets a really good chance. The Leafs look like the more dangerous team. But the Calgary Flames coming on strong, they get a power play, and then with less than 4 minutes to go, a wide open shot. Backlund puts it on, stopped by Jack Campbell, juicy rebound. What? Paint me like one of your Michigan goalies. The double pad stack from Jack. Call it vintage if you want, but making saves has never gone out of style. The Flames would never get closer than that. 3-2-1, the clock counts down, and of course, after all of that talk, it's a shutout win for Jack Campbell and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Questions, and let's start with the obvious. Oh, actually, let's not. Glad I checked my phone. This just breaking as I was shooting the video. Travis Boyd has been placed on waivers by the Leafs, and there were no other players. Oh boy, I get it. And he hasn't been nearly as effective as he was earlier in the season, but I'm not going to be stoked to lose Travis Boyd. And I have a really bad feeling that they're going to lose Travis Boyd. And I sure hope there's a real concrete plan at the bottom of this, because the Leafs are risking losing their second useful depth player in a week, and that's generally not very good. And I know you got cap problems, but like, you need players? Something to keep an eye on. Anyway, the obvious question. I like the wording of this one. Was the question answered? Yes, twofold. It was answered in that Frederik Andersen is hurt. Jack Campbell has to be the starter going forward now while he recovers. And it was answered by Jack Campbell's performance. He's the best goalie to go with right now. I know that's a bold thing to say of a guy who just played his 4th game, but he's been great in those 4 games. You gotta see what you have in Jack Campbell. You have to evaluate it. You have no other choice. Very serious question. Who do you love more, Felix Potvin or Jack Campbell or James Reimer? I love my wife first and foremost, but I'm not married to any of those 3 guys, so I will simply say I love them all. Tiebreaker to the one who brings me a cup. Which vet is pranking Marner and telling him to water his legs? Spezza, Thornton, or Simmons? Yeah, so there was a clip of Marner watering his legs during the game. I don't get it. I'm sure someone who's played a lot of hockey will have an answer that's better than mine, which is, I don't know, I guess his legs get hot. My answer is, none of the vets told Mitch to do that. He just kind of did it, because no matter how old he gets, He's a child. Wayne Simmons is looking at him like, generally I wouldn't approve, but he leads us in scoring, so yeah, I don't get that one, but he's sick this season, so Mitch, you do you. Ooh, why not end here? Another long break until Thursday. Is there a trade between now and then? Well, so they've lost Jimmy Vesey for nothing already on waivers. They're risking losing Travis Boyd for nothing on waivers, and if I was a betting man, I would say he's getting claimed. So the Leafs are obviously not losing these guys for nothing. They clearly have some sort of plan. Dubas was very open about the fact that the Leafs are open for business and even willing to trade high-profile prospects to get a deal done. If the Leafs make a trade like today, we still might not even see the player that they get or players that they get until the second week of April. So the clock is ticking. Not to mention that if they were to make a trade over the next few days, they would be getting that player around roughly the same time all the American teams would be getting players trading between American teams at the actual deadline on April 12th. I said this on the podcast already. There's all these names out there, a lot of Sabres, a lot of Preds. I can't help but feel like we've got it all wrong. Kyle Dubas is generally very tight-lipped, and generally speaking, when he makes a deal, we didn't really see it coming. We might have suspected the person he was going to trade, but generally not the guys he acquires. Keep your eyes peeled, Leafs Nation. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. In Jack, we trust.